part lion and part pard. Part pard. That's fun, isn't it, to say? Leopards and cheetahs are animals that are very similar to one another in a lot of ways. Both big cats found in Africa and known for their spotted patterns. Yet despite these similarities, they have enough unique features to make them different to one another. Leopards are far bigger and bulkier, while cheetahs are more streamlined and small, which is ideal for the speeds they can reach. Cheetahs are actually so fast, they are the fastest animal on land, with the only creatures faster than them being birds like falcons and such, which fly. I don't think falcons are very fast walking, but once they're in the air, they can go. While we know now that these are two different creatures, once upon a time that wasn't the case. People thought there was a connection of kind between these cats, and that was reflected in their previous names. Yeah, these guys haven't always been called leopards and cheetahs in English. In the past, the animal we now call a leopard was just called a pard, and the animal we now call a cheetah was actually called a leopard? Yeah, it turns out this name of leopard once belonged to cheetahs, before it was seemingly stolen by the current big cat that bears this name. As mentioned, what we now call a leopard was once named a pard, a word that is still present in its current name. Pard is seemingly a super old word, coming from the Latin pallidus, and it can be used for all different kinds of big cats. It's most likely the origin of panther too. Pard, pardus, panther. It's all connected. I think you get spotted panthers as well, and there's ocelots and other animals with spots. I don't know, it's all confusing. Let's just focus on leopards and cheetahs for now, shall we? According to the OED, we have evidence of pard being used as a word in relation to big cats in English, dating as far back as Old English, with more clear evidence in the late 14th century. Here, however, we aren't entirely sure if it was being used specifically for the animals we now call leopards or other kinds of big cats. What this all means for us is that in the past, English speakers saw these large spotted cats known to live in far off exotic locations and simply dubbed them pards. Pards. It's a weird word, isn't it? Pards. Yeah, I'm glad they got a new name. And if one spotted predatory big cat wasn't enough, English speakers soon found out that there was another kind too. It soon became clear there was another creature similar to what they were calling a pard, knocking around in this part of the world too. As this creature wasn't the exact same thing as a pard, it needed a new name. But here's the thing, people of the past thought that what we now call a cheetah wasn't a unique creature at all. But before we look into that, I want to say a huge thank you to my most recent patron and super thanks leavers. So a huge thank you to new patron Al H and super thanks leaver Nigel Melanistic Smith. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names get explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comments section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. But anyway, in regards to this new spotted cat making waves in the English-speaking world, they didn't think it was a unique animal, but instead a hybrid, born from a lion and a pard mating with one another. This supposed hybrid needed a new name, and as we see often in the realm of big cat hybrids, the best way of doing this is by simply mushing the names of the parent cats together, like we see with Liger and Tygon? Liger and Tygon? I know there's Liger, I can't remember what the other one is, but you get the idea. All of this resulted in them being named leopards. We see pard at the end of this name, and the leopard of course relates to lions, with lion being the old English word for them. This is how that name of leopard came into being, not as the title for the creature we now use for it, but instead as the name for what we now call a cheetah, a cat which was once erroneously thought to be part lion and part pard. That's fun, isn't it, to say part pard? Dunno, yeah, maybe I'm just going mad. Of course, this creature wasn't actually a hybrid of a lion and a pard, so when this was finally figured out, that name couldn't really be used for it anymore. This meant that the cat which was once being called a leopard needed a new name. Thankfully, somewhere beyond the English-speaking world, there was a name being formed for this creature that didn't sound anything like leopard. It was thanks to the language of Hindi as to where we get the name cheetah from. In this tongue, this kind of cat was being called a cheetah, and as English speakers started to interact more with Hindi speakers, this name got applied to the cats before being adapted into cheetah as we know it today. Once again, according to the OED, the earliest use of cheetah in English for this kind of cat was around the late 18th century. I also imagine it was around this time that the animals being called a pard was bequeathed with that other title of leopard. We don't seem to know why exactly this outdated name for cheetahs was then used for the animal once called a pard. I imagine it comes down to the fact that pard was once a more generic name for big cats as a whole. Calling it a leopard gave it a more unique name, even though this also isn't a hybrid of a lion and a pard. And also it's just a way cooler sounding name than just pard, right? But that is how the animal we once called a leopard became known as a cheetah, and how that title of leopard was then passed over to an animal we once called a pard. It's all very confusing to say the least. And for those wondering, we can't actually breed lions and leopards together, but they aren't called leopards, they're instead called Leopon, which, I don't know, has some really strong Pokemon energy to it. Leopon. I don't know, go let me know what type you think Leopon would be down in the comments below. That's the kind of thing I need to know from you guys. Go suggest a topic down below which we could cover in next Monday's Name Explain video. It could be about literally anything, and the topic can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those topics and place them on a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the topic covered in next Monday's Name Explain video. You can vote in that poll as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough from myself. But don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page, Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. I think we're looking all good. Yeah, I think we are, you know. Had to do some tinkering. I think I'm nice and centered. Yeah, my eyes look in the right place. Anyway, should we begin? Leopards, cheetahs. This is a fun one. These, they have enough unique features. While we know now, more clear evidence. According to the, sorry, I made a weird sound that made myself laugh. Old English. With more clear, why can't I say the word clear? And if one spotted predatory big cat wasn't enough, English spookers. This name got for the cats before. What? Pardon me, sorry. Take care. We're done. Cool. Yeah, so I was looking down because I normally have like a carpet on the floor here, and it was always kind of like upsetting the tripod because like part of it was on the carpet. So I've actually just had to like clear it aside. So I've just got even more mess to sort out now to get into my filming pose. But that should be good. I think that's worked out quite well. But I don't know, I'll probably review the footage and it'll look absolutely shit. Okay, cheers. Bye.